Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Street Yans Podcast. It's your boy, Adeboy. And as usual, we're bringing the gist from the street to you. Joining me today is, as usual, Afis Odunuga Agasoka.
Hi.
And today we have a special guest on our podcast, someone who a lot of people already know. I consider her a public figure and a social media influencer. She is somebody that a lot of people talk about, but today we're going to be going a little bit personal so that we can actually know more about her. And then we also want to use the opportunity to hear our perspective towards everything that has been going on in Nigeria with the subsidy thing, with the economy. And it's going to be refreshing to hear a new perspective, a different perspective to what we are more used to. So let me bring Ruth in. Ruth, thank you for joining us on the recording today. We know that you have a lot of things piled up that you're doing, but at least we appreciate the fact that you were able to come online and have a conversation with us.
Oh, well, you're welcome. And
Yeah.
hi, everyone.
So, Ruth, tell us a bit about yourself. Like, for people like me, I don't know about Hafiz too, and a lot of people listening. When we see Ruth, the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, that girl that likes food.
Yeah.
But we definitely know that there's a lot more to you than that. Like, even if you click your Twitter page, for some reason, that's the picture you pinned on your profile.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So tell us, how did that whole thing start, and why was it just something you started doing like a joke, and then you just decided to run with it, or how did it all start? So just give us a little bit of background and a little bit about yourself too.
Okay. Okay, I'll start with a little bit about myself. My name is Ruth Aboko, and I'm a 600 level student of veterinary medicine. So, well, I feel this whole influencing stuff was not intentional. Yeah, it was just like I have been a social media person even like from when I was small. Then I was on to go. Like I entered Ultimate in to go because then to go had different stars, and I was able to enter Ultimate because of my like I just enjoy being on social media. So fast forward to 2020 during the lockdown, I was really active on Twitter, always giving my takes, and before you know, I started becoming more known. And then because of my school, because of my tight academic calendar, it's not really easy for me to like combine both. But God has been faithful. I've been able to combine both. But I noticed that anytime like I have a break, maybe there's ASU strike or something like it makes me like I become more popular. Like it makes me grow better. So well, that's how it has been. But it was the lockdown that this whole stuff started. And then how did the whole food stuff start? One day I just walked into a restaurant because I work with right food. Like I'm working with right food since like 2020.
Okay.
So I now went to restaurant. Then I think I went to eat amala or something. I went to my friend. So I just thought to like take me a picture and when I before I started eating and after I started eating. And I posted it on Twitter and the thing had very good engagement. Like the engagement was crazy. So and I liked it. So that was how I now continued the whole. And again, I like food personally. Like I'm a foodie. Like I can finish crying. Like I can finish crying this minute, and next minute I'm eating. Like even if I'm very sad, I just lose appetite. Like that is how I really like
Food is
food.
your therapy.
Yeah. Like
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah. So that was how the whole stuff started. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I guess we can say that you are one of the few people that the strike, incessant ASU strike, worked out for in a way.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Like anytime I have to strike, even that lockdown, these breaks it favor me because of my tight schedule in school.
do you care to share your school with us? Because I've not heard the name of that school.
Oh, okay. I still at University of Abuja.
Oh, Uni Abuja. Oh, that's interesting.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's honestly for me, it's kind of eye opening to know that, because
Mm,
and that's one thing I've always known about in social media.
yeah.
Uh, there's always a lot more to people than what you think. And
Mm,
then, so some people that try to pretend like they're a lot more, in reality they may not even be that much. So for instance, someone like you are a medical student, a veterinary medicine student. On social media, you're just a regular person having your own fun, chatting with
Yeah.
people, talking, sharing your views and everything. And
Mm.
until recently, I didn't even know that. And then that's the mistake people make most times. They'll just think everybody is nobody on social media.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you don't really know that there's a lot more to their lives than just what they type on Twitter. And I guess,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really
I
refreshing.
actually, too, I've seen Ruth's face more than once. I think I've seen it on a meme too, but I never know this is the kind of life this person has. And
On a meme.
also, yes, you know Nigerians now. I've seen
Okay, is it
Alozie.
my baby picture? Is it that one?
No. This before and after the one you pinned, the
Okay,
one you pinned.
the
Okay.
food thing.
Yeah, the food
Okay.
pin.
Okay. Okay.
So you will always be like, oh, you will never know who this person is, or not until
Yeah.
you get to
W-
find out.
Yeah, the
But
first
however,
impression will
this
be like, oh, this girl, that's the girl that likes food. They won't
that
actually know that
yeah,
that girl is actually a medical student.
so so actually,
Okay, please go on.
my own question is
Yeah.
how have you then been mixing influencing? I'm sure you might not be working with rifles. I don't know, but do you then mix influencing, that social media influencing, with because just like you say, you're always there. You might not have a page manager and the likes. I don't know, you might have, but how do you mix that with school? Is it not demanding?
Hmm. It is very very demanding because to be very honest, my course is a very very hard course. Like if I had had this foresight I have now 6 years ago, honestly I would not have studied vet. So it has not been really easy. Like there are times that I'm not really
that's
active
that's the thing. Life will never tell you where it's taking you. So just follow suit.
actually. So but I'll just say it's God though, it's God because I don't know how I just get the strength to like manage it too. So it's just God, honestly, because that is what I would say.
So, you talked about strike, and okay, you're always more engaged during strike or when there is a break in school, and
Yeah,
but when there is no strike, when the school is in session, you are more busy.
yeah.
So based on one thing that is mentioned, so do you have like a social media manager, or do you run everything by yourself?
I dey run everything myself. Oh. I don't have a
Wow, that's
manager yet.
surprising.
No, I don't have. Yeah.
Wow,
Because
that's
even if I have
surprising.
a manager, like people follow me for like there's a way I tweet that people know that oh this is coming from roots. But
You okay?
if I have a manager and the person is tweeting, like my followers may not really enjoy that
Mhm.
person's
You
that
like to
person's
keep
tweet
it
because
personal.
yes, yes actually. So that is
Okay,
basically
okay. So my next question: has your school fee been increased? Because if Uni Abuja look at
mm.
your pay, especially with the
uh,
food
They should
pass,
say.
they should increase your school fee, because it doesn't show subsidy reach your side at all.
It reach oh. Like I paid close to like I paid more than 200,000 naira in this my like this my final year. And this was really I can remember that I was in 300 level. So my school fees was just 30,000 naira. So you can see
Wow,
from 30K they now increase it to like 70 something. From that like 72 there about from 72,000 naira they now increase it to 195.
So basically, what you're saying is
So
even before this whole news about
current
they've been
subsidy
yeah,
and
they
increasing
really
your own tuition.
yes. They've been increasing our school fees. Yeah,
Wow.
they've been increasing it. So
So if in that regard, is Twitter profitable per se, or like do you get so how does it work? Is it Twitter that actually is profitable, or the fact that okay maybe you have a lot of followers, other brands reach out to you and things like that?
yes. Brands reach out, and again with this, Elon Musk has brought a new policy. Though I don't know, I don't know anybody that has paid. Like, look, sorry, I see people on Twitter tweeting about it, like this ads revenue share. I see a lot of them getting $1,000 and also yeah, it's profitable. And again,
No.
what I'm trying to say is that Elon Musk now has brought this ad revenue share that can help a lot of creators like get money. But I don't know if it has already happened in Nigeria or I don't know. But I
Oh,
just
okay.
say a lot of Oyibo Twitter tweet it. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Oh,
when it comes to all these things, Nigeria is always like the last on the list to get it.
the last, oh yeah,
Yeah.
so sad for us. But riding on that,
Yeah.
is there a Twitter community at Abuja? I know there is in Lagos. I know of Ibadan. How is it in Abuja? Or you guys just do your things
Twitter community
individually?
in Abuja. Or maybe there is though, but I don't actively belong to any community. Like growing, I have just been on my own, so I don't really know if they are community, but maybe they should have. But I don't belong to any community in Abuja, to be very honest.
Okay. Now, so on Twitter, and I think sometimes it finds its way on Instagram too. There's always this
Yeah.
gist going around with you and Daniel Rega. So my question is, how did this whole thing start? Do you guys Are you
I
guys
told you.
friends? Have you
Oh,
even met him in person?
that's true. That's true.
Like,
Ruth don't cook for Daniel Rega again. You know they talk. Ah, damn. Oh, sorry.
so like, where did this whole thing start from? Like, are you guys really friends in person, or it's just something that you just decided to run with and stuff?
Well, I don't know how it started though. I think it's just people, Nigerians, and their unnecessary rumors. Because the one time I came online, I saw that there's this guy Dapsy. I don't even know Dapsy. He does Photoshop. So he now photoshopped me
Okay.
and Danerega, and if you see this picture, it looks so real. Like it looks like a traditional, like we're both wearing traditional attire, but it was Photoshop. Like it was not real.
An engagement.
Yes, 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 yes. So since then
Crew,
now
crews
he posted it
everywhere.
and the thing got a lot of engagement. Then people are now like calling us couples, calling us husband and wife. And to be very honest, I have never spoken to this guy in my life. We have never talked in my life.
So
I'm
you've
not
never
even
even met
friends.
him before?
Nah, 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 nah.
Ah,
I heard he's based in Lagos, so
okay.
Oh, so
he's so adamant.
afterwards, were there conversations among you guys, or you guys just
Nah,
decided to keep
no.
cool?
But
So
sometimes
you wouldn't
I
consider
just
him a friend?
use it to like catch cruise. Now he's not my friend. He's not even my acquaintance. I just know him. He's not my friend. But
Okay.
sometimes I
I
just
guess
use it to like catch cruise. Yeah.
I guess that
That's
clears it up. You so basically at times you just decide to run with it. I'm like, if that's what you guys want to say, no problem.
no
Yes,
problem.
if
Just
that's
keep
what
my
I
cool
want. Like
and
it
let's
doesn't.
move on.
Yeah, actually.
So I think it paints a clearer picture now. So now a little back to some of the more serious conversations. Earlier we talked about school fees increase. You even told us that
Yeah,
school fees increase had even your school fees particularly had even increased even before the general announcement and the one that went viral. So
yeah.
talking about this whole subsidy thing, the economy, from your own perspective, okay, because most times people tend to look at public figures as maybe they are not being affected by these things. On a personal note, in your
Mm.
area, in amongst your friends, amongst your close acquaintances, what is the word on the street concerning this subsidy removal? What's your own position on it? Do you think
Almost
removing it makes
okay.
sense, or do you think the government is not getting it right, or stuff like that?
Well, there are two sides to a coin, to be very honest. I feel removing it makes sense if, but I felt that they would have put things in place like caution the effect of the removal of the fuel subsidy because they removed the fuel subsidy, but minimum wage did not increase. Like the minimum wage still remained the same thing. And this fuel subsidy removal, bar, it affects everybody. From the woman selling pepper in the market that has to transport her pepper from the north to wherever she's selling. Like it affects everybody. Like now, currently, if I want to go somewhere, but I have to like sit down and like think twice. If this movement is
About the
not
cost
worth
of
it, I'll just
transportation.
stay.
Because of the cost of transportation.
Yes, yes, because of transportation is ridiculous. I remember the last time I visited Lagos. Then they've not even put the this like they've not removed the first subsidy. And I wanted to go somewhere, and I checked my boat app. They're telling me 16,000 naira just to go from Bega to Surulere. 16,000 naira, and I was like, am I traveling from one state to another? That was how I had to use Dafo. I had to use bus to go to where I was going, and I don't think I
Back in
spent
the
up
day,
to
that
3,000
16,000
naira.
would take you with Chisco bus from Lagos to Abuja.
Exactly. Even now,
Correct,
tell me
correct.
on how you use
But
ninth bus. Like
told
you
me
use that
up
920 bus,
until
it takes you three
yes, up
thousand
until
naira.
few years ago, self, it can still take you up until maybe
Honestly.
2019, 2020. Yeah,
Wow.
it
Yeah.
still
But now, because then, like, the, those people that are in charge of the subsidy, like, they were the ones that were benefiting. Like, they can bring, like, okay, like, so they can pay for maybe subsidy of maybe, like, let's say, an example, maybe like 12 liters. And then they'll now bring four of, maybe like 6 liters. Like, the subsidy that they were paying for, like, I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like the number of liters we were paying for were not the
Yeah.
same amount of fuel that were delivered. Do you understand?
that
Yeah,
was
So
being
the
yeah, they
people
were
that
delivered.
were in charge
basically
of it.
diverting the fuel somewhere
Exactly,
else.
exactly. But now with this new, like with the money that Tinubu has saved, that he said he wants to give each family 88,000 naira, like I feel that doesn't make sense. I felt he would
I
have
feel
like
like
put
everybody
the
agrees
money.
with you on that.
I felt he would have
And
like
he
put the
has he
money.
has actually
Maybe
he has actually had a rescind on that. So actually,
okay, so
so
he's no longer doing that again. He's no longer
Yeah,
giving
at
subsidy
least
yes,
again.
from
yes,
the last thing we heard, they said they've
we
changed their
heard
mind about that because there's been a lot of
so
outcry concerning it, or at least words
concerning that.
Yes,
So
against.
they are giving
honestly, like
to businesses,
what do you
giving
want to use
loans
the
to
ATM and
businesses
do?
like
Is it to buy Ewa or Gary? Like it doesn't
to
make
do
any sense. I feel you should just carry this money to like invest it in different economies, like maybe education. Like now they've increased school fees. It's not even to pay 200 and some thousand. Maybe like the government can subsidize the school fees and like maybe do
ah
you get maybe like in meaningful sectors, not
just
in
sorry for
giving
you. You won't
eighty
be able
thousand
to
naira.
access the student loan because it's going to kick off by September. But you
No,
are
Yeah,
we are
even that student loan self, it doesn't make sense. So if you read the guidelines to access it, you get.
uh,
mm,
they didn't put it out for everybody actually though. But
Yes, like it's I think it's
yes,
meant for the rich, and the rich they have money now. Like you cannot be rich and be looking for loan now.
yeah. At the end of the
Mm.
day, I feel like it will just end up being is a benefit for people that already have money, and
money,
then
yes.
they
But
are
Yeah.
never going to pay it back anyway.
hold on a minute. How much is fuel in
Abuja.
Abuja now? Not at NNPC stations or
Last time I checked, it was 600 and something now. Six
Wow.
hundred and how much? I can't remember the exact
I
figure.
think generally the fuel price of fuel is more expensive in the north than
in
in the
than
south country.
yes, if you factor in the cost of transportation and the like.
Transportation.
Transportation.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you're permanently based in Abuja.
Yes.
Or
So
Yes.
it is just cool.
No, no, no. I grew up here. I was born in Lagos, but I grew up in Abuja.
okay. Abuja, even before this whole subsidy thing, I've heard that Abuja is notoriously bad for
Expensive.
yeah, it's notoriously expensive and everything. Like I can't imagine how worse it is now.
No, no, that's not true. Lagos is more
Uh,
expensive. Oh. Like I'm not when I visited Lagos last year October. I went to market to buy pepper. Sorry, to buy tomatoes of 1,000 naira. If you see the small tomatoes they gave me,
oh,
like the
maybe
tomatoes
you
I bought
came
for 1,000 naira, but like I can use that same like that
Ruth,
1,000
hold
naira
on. Maybe you
tomatoes
came
is equivalent to like
around
400 naira tomatoes in Abuja. You see?
maybe you came around the time tomatoes was ridiculously expensive.
Mm.
I think yeah, just like few months ago, 3 4 or
Ah,
was it earlier?
And
even co-
I think
even
tomato is planted in the north, so it will be cheaper in Abuja.
Okay,
oh
this is
even
the
cost of
thing.
transportation self
Let
is
me
more
bring
expensive in Lagos.
Wow.
Lagos is
the
expensive.
geographical analysis to this. I think food should be more cheaper in the north because maybe at Abuja too because the cost of transporting it isn't
Down to the
really that
Mm,
south.
much
Yeah.
down to the south. So, but
uh,
the Lagos factor makes most things expensive. Even the normal guy selling tomatoes, they pay for shop. If you are standing on the
mm,
street, Agbero will collect money from you for where you are
from
standing.
you,
so,
yeah.
so all of those factors would
Yeah,
cascade
will
down to
come
the
Come
together.
into
price.
place.
So, but I
Yeah.
think I've heard it is just housing that is very expensive in Abuja. So, how would you compare that to Lagos?
Well, yes, yes, yes. Well, I don't know because there was a time that because I want to do my NYC in Lagos. I want to have in Lagos. So I
Oh,
was looking for houses. Like I already said you my search so that I can like save up for them. And then I
oh,
saw like a sell corn in Vega for like 300,000 naira,
Oh, that's true.
which
Which
was
was what?
fair. Yeah, fair.
That's good.
But like
Yeah.
there are places in Abuja, it depends on the location. Like there are places that you can even get two bedroom flats for 400,000 naira.
But I've
If
heard
you want
that
this carry
people
move.
people always have to move like almost to Nasarawa and Co
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
to the
exactly.
outskirts.
to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
cheap
yes,
houses.
yes. If it's those outskirts, it's cheaper. But if it's in town, no, houses are more expensive.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So another thing that I was thinking about is, earlier you mentioned the fact that you always want to undo your social media by yourself, so that because
Yeah.
there's this uh, way you post.
Originality that comes
Okay,
from me.
exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for that word, originality. And now it comes to the question of how do you choose what you want to post, what you want to talk about, what you want to represent as a person? Because generally, I believe that anybody who has, I don't want to put a number on it, but that has enough followers on social media, in a way, is a leader because you have influence. What you tweet,
Yeah.
people retweet. What you say, people quote. So, in a way, you're a leader, whether you like it or not. So, now that, and with leadership comes responsibility. How do you choose what you want to stand for, what you represent?
Oh,
Or what are the bases you use to say no? I'm not going to talk about this thing because I don't want to be associated with it.
Oh well,
generally your brand. What's your
Yeah.
brand
well,
like?
like no normally I avoid topics that are very sensitive, like maybe topics on rape or like generally sensitive topics. And because like on how you give a take on a very sensitive topic, and maybe it's not sitting out with a lot of people, like they can start to report your account, and that's not healthy. So I avoid topics that are very sensitive. Like I can remember when I tweeted in favor of Tunumbu. Hey God, they drag me. Like, that I had a very thick skin, and I've
Obedience
gone
came
into
after you.
depression. Yes, so it came up, and the amazing part on how you're supporting obedience bar is good, is fine. On how you talk in favor of Tinubu, though, they will say that they paid you, you've collected Agbado's money. And to be very honest with you, but I was not paid to tweet that tweet. Like between me and my God, I was not paid. I was having a
Wow.
conversation with a friend of mine, and a friend told me that the reason why he likes Tinubu, like the reason why he wants Tinubu to be the president is because Tinubu is a very ruthless person, and Tinubu will take decisions that Peter Obi might not be able to take. And
Yeah.
I resonated with that. So
Mm.
me,
Okay.
with my innocent self now, I came to tweet it. Hey, if you like, I chop blocking there. So the blocking, I know, they pay me, but like a lot of people were just giving me back leash and stuff like that. So sensitive topics are topics that I
Okay.
I
So
avoid.
so you've included politics in your sensitive topic, right?
Is
Is
it
that what
politics
you're
Yeah.
doing?
generally or supporting a candidate?
Or supporting a candidate?
Support No, it's not supporting a candidate that the general public do not like. Like a lot of people do not like on Twitter. I just advise you, don't just tweet about it. Especially when you when you're not paid to do it, or maybe if you're paid, so you can use the money as your consolation and tweet if you like.
Abi?
But if you're not paid,
So
you
that
will
at
just
least
be
you can
depressed.
clean your face with your millions
Yeah,
when you are
yeah.
crying.
That's interesting.
But what kind of topics do you stand for? Because I know some people, anything Big Brother Nigeria, they will always tweet.
No,
When
I
it
think
comes to,
I think I don't know if I'm following Ruth, but I always see her retweets. Maybe somebody I follow retweets a lot about it.
Yeah, maybe I
You
haven't
you do
found.
you I think you do a lot of what is it called, Big Brother tweets.
Well, it depends
Am I
though.
right?
If I'm watching it at that time, and maybe I have 1 or 2 cents to talk about, then yes, I can tweet. You get?
okay.
Yeah.
So, but generally,
But
do
it's not
you
like I'm a
prefer
hard
entertainment
guy.
topics, or it depends on what just comes?
Well, it depends on what just comes. But yeah, it depends on what just comes. And again, at times, like naturally, I think like most times my tweets tend to be controversial. You get?
Yeah.
And people see it as maybe I'm trying to chase clout. But it's not clout. Like that's just how I am. Like my takes seems like clout. So
But then,
I
no,
don't know
no
how
matter
to.
how controversial it is, I'm sure there will be people that will agree with you, even if some people disagree.
Yes, and there are people that will disagree with me exactly.
Okay, let me see how much controversial you are. So, what network would you say is the best? so far with with your, because definitely if you are creating content or you are doing this, you should actually side with one network. I'm not saying
I'm
to
sure there's a
mention
network that
Network
has
like
disappointed you the most, and some
the
that you will
most.
still.
all of them they are the same. All of them their head is short.
Yeah.
Like you're talking
Yeah.
about global like browsing network now, like calling network in Nigeria.
Like
Yeah,
for
both
internet.
actually. For
Oh yeah.
internet, sir.
Okay. Well, to be honest, I have like two sims, MTN and Airtel. But there are times that yes, their head they color, you get. So that is it. To be honest, I don't have a favorite network because all of them they are the same. Sometimes their server fails and they just be having you look very stupid. Like I remember one time that WhatsApp was down. You see, that was costing Airtel because sometimes Airtel can be so silly. You get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I don't really have a
okay.
favorite.
Okay. Should we talk about when WhatsApp was down? How you were able to, or were you very active that moment? Don't let Raouf Aregbesola hear that. Is he what's that saying?
No, Lai Mohammed.
Like Mohammed, yes, yes,
Uh,
yes. Well, don't tell me you were tweeting at this period.
You know what? That even reminds me. Remember the time that Twitter was banned in Nigeria?
yeah,
How
yeah.
was
Yes,
that for period for you?
that's my question
As
actually.
in for your
Oh
brain?
well. Mm, well, how was it?
What
Well, I was
did
still
you move to Instagram, or what were you doing at the time?
nah, I didn't move to Instagram or I was still on Twitter, but then I was using
Ah,
VPN to like
don't
access my
don't say
Twitter.
don't say it too much. Don't say it too loud. Don't let special government hear you.
So that DSS will not come.
So that the
Eh?
SS no.
Okay, I had a
Okay.
year they'll come and catch me.
So
Ah,
you want to do?
okay.
I'm in my house. Come and beat me.
No before this DSS. So
But
I did
do
not
you
say
know when,
anything.
when
No.
you were talking about your social media journey and everything, you talked about to go, and it kind of took me back
Yeah,
to when I
Ah,
think almost
those days.
everybody was on to go at that point, but
yeah,
at a point it became so bad that there was a lot of explicit stuff that were being shared on the
So
thing, and then it got bad rep.
yeah.
But I kind of feel like what to go at back then, if they had been able to sustain it, I'm sure they will have been on the same level with the likes of Twitter and Instagram right now.
With
yeah. Actually, yeah,
different
they
rooms
would.
they had. Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. But I think a lot of people too, when they talk
but
about their social media journey, it often starts with to go and Facebook.
yeah. So mother year to go they hot too. Like
Uh,
to go was even hotter than BlackBerry itself. Like to
yeah,
go was
because not
very
everybody
hot
could
Yes.
and
afford
BBM.
BlackBerry, but everybody could log into
Yes,
to go.
yes.
So
I don't
so
know if BBM still exists. Does BBM still exist?
I
BlackBerry
don't
no
I
BBM.
no
don't
no
think
no
so.
no no no. No. How many people does the
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the
I
last
was
time
still
they even
thinking.
did their last update was like 5 years ago, and they just shut everything down. So
Wow.
people that still have the device will probably be able to use
Uh,
it, but they
In
can't
fact,
ping anymore.
in fact, I don't
oh,
know. I don't know. How I came by one boat 5. I don't know because maybe I used boat 5 around 2013, 14. I can't remember. I just saw one boat 5. I was like, this thing still there here. How come? For
Uh,
real. So
yeah.
so
So
oh
my,
well.
my question for you, Ruth, and one
Mm.
thing. What other social media platform do you use as much as you use Twitter? Or let me ask. Are you heavy on Instagram too?
Um. Well, Instagram is very expensive, and Instagram requires a lot of fake life. You get.
So,
So
mm,
so you're
I'm not
still
really
keeping it real.
there like that. But
So how about Snapchat?
I think I have about 13K followers no, maybe like 12K or so on Instagram. So it's not so much. I just post once in a while, but I'm more like very active on Twitter.
Twitter.
Then
Okay.
Facebook, I'm
How
not
about
even on Facebook.
Snapchat?
Snapchat, while I was growing up,
Mm-hmm.
then Snapchat used to consume a lot of data, so I'm
I
not
don't
really
really
used
like
to
that.
it.
Yeah. How about
So
Clubhouse?
I'm a Clubhouse died though.
He died a
Wow.
natural death. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Clubhouse died. I remember then
Funny
Clubhouse
enough,
was hot.
I don't even
Now,
know what Clubhouse is. So
Are you
forgive me.
serious?
wow.
I
Okay.
can't join that conversation.
It's almost like Twitter, but it
Um,
has rooms too. It has rooms that has different topics you are
Oh,
interested in. So some
Um,
stuff like that. Then how about what's this most recent app again? Threads.
thread.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
how yes. Are you on Threads too already?
Yes, I'm on thread, but that thread is a very
So
dead app. I'm so sorry to say.
I
Like
heard
it's
that.
very
okay.
boring.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people ran to Threads and ran back to Twitter.
So Twitter. Okay.
Yes,
Okay. So
yes,
okay.
thread
What's
is
the
not so
what?
interesting.
How would you now rate, or what's the major difference between this Twitter and X changing the brand logo and the likes? What do you say to that?
Oh
What's your take
well,
on that?
I don't know. Elon Musk just has just started to become very extra. But no matter how he changes it, like just like how NEPA has modified their name to PHCN or whatever they call themselves.
And they are
But we
still
still
the
call
same.
it NEPA. You get so I don't think we'll be adapting to that X because the X doesn't like I don't
Yeah,
know from my own point of
it
view.
does not. It's not like it doesn't make sense. Like, oh, the way you
Yes,
can
it
say
doesn't make sense.
okay, I'm on Twitter, I'm tweeting.
I'm on
Did
Twitter,
you see
yeah,
his tweet?
tweeting.
Are you supposed to say, did you see his X?
X now is now
Problem
you now
problem
change
will
it to
solve.
repost. Doesn't make any sense, yeah,
Yeah,
honestly.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Well, Ruth, thank you for joining us on this episode. We really appreciate your coming. And
Thank
very soon, when we have an actual video segment, hopefully we'll be able to also invite you and you'll be able to show up.
you so
Okay,
much.
yeah, sure. And I really enjoyed like it was I had a fun session. Like
All right.
yeah, I enjoyed it too, so it's mutual.
All
Thank you
right.
Okay,
so.
it's,
All right.
it's good
Thank you.
having you around.
All right.
So me
Thank you.
thanks
You're
for
welcome.
bringing me up once more.
No problem. So, thank you, listeners, for joining us again on this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. So, as usual, subscribe on our YouTube channel, like, and also share. And till next time, bye bye.
Bye.